So, Joel, after thinking about whether or not you come back for this year, what are your emotions kind of starting training camp number 12?
Yeah, I'm excited. I think we're in a good place. The team seems energized and ready to roll, but personally I'm excited. I feel really good physically right now. We'll see how it feels in a couple weeks, but right now I feel good and ready to go.
Joel, you've been through so many different camps with different coaches. Do you think the personality of this camp from Stefanski will be different from the previous one?
Yeah, we've talked about intensity, we've talked about energy, we've talked about we got to start fast and we got to keep building up. We have a couple of joint practices; those always bring up the intensity. So I think we're going to have a high intensity physical training camp.
Is there one camp that sticks out that was tougher, more high intensity, or more physical than any you can remember?
It's hard. I think early in my career, you don't know what you don't know. So like my first and second year with Pedden, there was a lot more allowed. Like you could do half line still, you could do like inside run tackling drills and stuff. And so those always felt a little bit more physical than we've kind of progressed to. I think that's more of an NFL wide thing though.
Since veterans don't play a lot in preseason games, how much do those two joint practices help in terms of getting ready?
Yeah, there's a positive to them. I think if you have a good team that you're going against and you get controlled reps, in a controlled environment, sometimes they get a little out of place, especially if it goes more than a day or two because one team wins the first day and the next team comes back angry because they got yelled at the night before. If you have good practices, it can be very helpful.
Joe, can you guys just write off last year as nothing went right?
It's part of that, but I think we have to take some accountability. Like we were out there playing games. I know we weren't in a perfect position all the time, but at some point, as a player, I think everybody looked in the mirror and was like, what can I do to be better? Not just, last year we didn't like the play calls, we didn't like this. It was, you have to, take a step and try and improve yourself a little bit.
Do you go into every season believing that you guys have a legitimate chance to, to make the playoffs and get yourself just, really pumped and hyped up for that type of
Yeah,
scenario?
I mean, I'm personally forever optimistic. That's just how I've been my whole life. But I think, honestly, truly, every NFL team goes into training camp, knowing they have a chance. Like we have a majority of our team back from 2 years ago when we went, 11-6 and made the playoffs and made a run. We do know we have to play better and we have to improve and do some things right. But I think the mentality of the team and the work we're going to try and do gives us that optimism.
Why do you think expectations are so low for this team nationally?
Because we played very bad last year. We were, disappointing. I think everybody was disappointed. I went 0-16, 1-15, 3-13. I feel like that was probably my most disappointed year, just with what we had done the year before and the players we had. So it was very frustrating. So I understand why the outside world wants to write us off because it makes sense on from what you're looking at the year before.
And is that a good place for the team to be?
Yeah, it's fine. We're going to try and not look at the noise. I think we're going to try and work, and I think guys have chips on their shoulder, and everybody's motivated differently. But I think there's a positive motivation for our guys.
How eager are you to see how this quarterback shuffle ends up?
What was the question?
How eager are you to see who emerges as your starting quarterback?
Yeah, it's a big thing. I mean, the starting quarterback in the NFL is probably the most important position, so I know they're going to have a good battle. I know the guys are ready to work, and it's going to be a good competition. So, I'll look forward to it whenever it's announced.
Joel, are guys talking about what has gone on and what is going on in the NFLPA?
Yeah, there's been some talks for sure.
I mean, is it something that you feel bothered by, that you feel like will get it all resolved?
Yeah, I mean, we're definitely in a vulnerable position right now as NFLPA, and it feels like there's some, internal breakage inside the NFLPA that is causing some rift. So it's something we definitely need to get figured out and try and put a stop to it and, catch our breaths and get back to it.
How active have you been as a representative of this team?
Yeah, I'm the second alternate. Shelby Harris is the main alternate, so he's our voting rep. But I've been on some calls. Obviously, I'm pretty close friends with J.C. Treader, so I have some, just some discussions with him in the whole situation. And there's probably some things I can't say or won't say, but it's the players are trying to figure out a way to get us in the right position. And obviously, with the whole Lloyd situation and what kind of went down, it puts a bad light on on the whole NFLPA, but I think the players that are on the executive committee that are voting reps are trying to do the right thing now and find a good interim candidate.
Joe, does this quarterback competition feel different? I mean, you've been through plenty of them. Does this feel different because of the dynamics? There's 4 guys, 2 of them are veterans, 2 of them are rookies. As you approach it day one?
Yeah, it's 4 quarterbacks that everybody's trying to compete and play, and it's a big number of guys with limited reps. You know what I mean? So it'll be interesting to see how they do it. Luckily, you have a guy like Joe that has some experience and has some playing time, and Kenny's played a lot. I think it's just going to be whoever's most comfortable in the system and can make throws. I think all of them are talented, and all of them have that ability to be a starting quarterback in this league. Maybe not today, but in the future. So it'll be a good competition.
After OTAs and minicamp, how do you feel about Juwan Jones?
I think he's a lot more comfortable than he was when he was asked to play last year. I think he's a guy you see flashes with all the time. There's some great plays, and for him, we've talked about just the consistency. He's obviously worked to get his body in better shape, and he's coming into camp in good shape. And it's just going to be a consistency, play-to-play battle. He has to go up against a guy like Miles in practice, and there's going to be some wins and some losses. And it's just having that mental attitude to come back and try and get better from it.
Can you tell me what kind of an asset is it to have a man so big playing left tackle?
Yeah, it helps. I mean, if you can get to your spot and you have those long arms, like it takes a lot to run around the guy or run through the guy. Size is a very strong trait, and I think when he's focused and he gets to his spot and he plays long, like he's a very good tackle.
How much time did you think about this could be my last training camp?
Not too much. I'm really trying to live in the moment and just, one practice, one meeting, everything at a time. There'll be time, when it's over to think about that stuff.
When you showed up last year, did that enter your mind that it could be the last one?
No,
Okay.
I did not think about that.
Joel, getting back to the emphasis on the run game, getting the ball out quickly, just as someone who's been around as long as you have, just how excited are you to get back to that type of a scheme that really seemed to work for a couple of years there?
Yeah, it's O-lineman's, dream offense in that sense. Like, hey, we're going to run the ball, we're going to play action, we're going to take our shots when they're there, quick passing game. But it's something we have to make happen. Like, it's great to say, but if the running game's not working, if you're not, converting those runs and the play action and all that stuff, it turns into a drop back game. Like, no matter what you say, if you're down by 2 touchdowns early, you're going to start dropping back. So it's something that we have to make come true, but we are excited with the foundation. Sweet.
Very good.
Thanks, guys.